Hey, what's up guys? Got another new video here for you. This is Bars Unlimited back with another reaction video. My name is Bryson and back in the video yet again today is my brother Bennett. And today we are finally getting back to this Gojira album Fortitude, guys. I know that you guys have been requesting that we do some songs off of this album. Like I said in the last video, Embrace the World. If you haven't watched that one yet, go check it out. But like I said in that video, me and Jake had recorded a reaction to a song off of this album, and it never was allowed to be uploaded due to copyright issues. So unfortunately, it was a great video. Me and Jake had a lot of fun recording it, and we both loved the song. But unfortunately, it was never able to be seen by you guys. And the song that we reacted to was Born for One Thing. And we both loved that song and felt really bad when you guys weren't able to see it. But we're going to try a make good here and react to this song, Hold On, off of this same album. And my brother is going to be joining us for this song as well. Or joining me, I guess you would say, for this song. And, you know, he is not always the biggest Gojira fan. However, he's listened to a couple of songs from watching me and Jake's reaction. And then he also watched a couple of live concerts of them. Not in person, but just on YouTube. And I showed him a few more songs from Gojira, specifically off of the album with Magma and Silvera and those songs on it, and he's come around and he likes them for the most part, at least the songs that he's heard. A lot of the songs that he's heard he's really enjoyed.
Yeah, I just like their vocals most of all. I think he, just the way he sounds hard. You know what I'm saying? Like
his guttural.
Yeah, he has like a lot of
guttural vocals that just sound crazy.
Yeah, and they fit well almost over any style of like metal beat, or you know what I'm saying, like anything. I feel like he could fit over it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I feel like just overall, they're like, I mean, they just, like, from a musicianship standpoint, they're pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. The instrumentation and stuff in their songs is really, really crazy. And they have some of the best guitar riffs and stuff that I've heard. Their drummer is incredible. I mean, there's so much to like about this band, and they put on an incredible live performance, and I mean, it's really, really awesome. And I have not listened to this whole new album. I have listened to a few songs off of it. Like I said, Born for One Thing, I believe. I listened to Amazonia. I listened to Another World. And now we're going to be checking out Hold On. I realize those are all the singles, but nonetheless, I wanted to save at least one more song off this album to try and do a live reaction to, because like I said, we tried to post that other live reaction that we did off this album and it didn't upload. Yeah. Plus, we just love checking out Gojira. So I try, given the fact that I've pretty much heard all of their other albums except this one, you know, unless you want to see us re-react to songs that I've already kind of heard, maybe it's been a while, but nonetheless, I've heard it. Unless you want to see that, you know, if you want us to react to a new song that I've never heard before, it kind of has to be off this album. So that's why I've kind of stayed away from listening to it, just so we always have something to react to. But nonetheless, you know, they're awesome, so I have no problem doing it either way.
Yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention is, you know what's kind of funny is, probably my favorite Gojira song was actually reacted to on this channel.
Yeah.
Gift of Guilt. I mean, the guitar riff on that is just it doesn't get much better. I mean,
Yeah.
I just love that song, and
Yeah, that live
like my
video
favorite
is
one.
super impressive too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That we actually reacted to. It was amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
Gift
song's
of
awesome.
Guilt. Yeah, the funny thing is that he was asking us for a while because he had heard it in the background while I was watching our video and stuff, and he watched the video too. And then later on, and I'm talking like a couple months later, he was like, "What was that one song that you guys reacted to?" And he was trying to remember what it was and couldn't, and I was like, well, we've only reacted to a couple of them, so it was either this, that, or the other thing. And then I told him it was we narrowed it down to being the Gift of Guilt, and since then he listened to it a bunch of times. So anyway, nonetheless, we're back to Gojira. It's really good to be back, and I can't wait to check out this song Hold On off their new album.
Yeah.
We've listened to about 20 seconds of it because we were trying to do like a sound check just to make sure everything sounded okay for you guys, the listeners, once we post this video.
Yeah.
So we did a bit of a sound check, so we've heard the little bit of the beginning, but it's really more of an intro than the actual beginning to the song, I believe, if it's anything like every other Gojira song out there, pretty much.
The album art is definitely interesting for this song, so, I mean, I'm guessing that's
I was going to say, that's the album cover for
but
Fortitude. Speaking of which, last thing before we check out the song, I finally got a Gojira shirt, and it's actually for this album. It's a picture of basically this lady with the spear and everything, and it says Fortitude on it, and it says Gojira. So I finally got a Gojira shirt. Yay me! And unfortunately, it was in the wash at the time of this recording, so I wasn't able to wear it for this video. But nonetheless, super excited to finally own a Gojira shirt. And yeah, so with that being said, guys, hold on, Gojira, let's get into it.
I've been grinding and grinding. Ocean of mercy.
what this sounds like right now... Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
What this sounds like right now, I don't think is generally gonna be what the main beat in this song is gonna sound like at all. I have a feeling like it's gonna be a tempo change of some sort.
Yeah, and I think it was just about to happen as you watched it.
Yeah, right. But no, that's another thing that we forgot to mention about Gojira is they do a pretty good job of switching their beats around, bring different sounds and, like changing tempo and flows on their songs. I mean, they're pretty impressive with that kind of stuff, and I'm interested to see what they do with this one.
Yeah, this is definitely building to something cool, and we're about to find out what it is, because I think the drums are starting to get... Man, oh man, that was good.
That was
pretty
insane,
nasty,
man.
dude. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, just the build up with the little guitar.
And then how they
the
got
beat drop, I was like, whoa.
yeah. And then the way that the drums came in too. Oh my God, that was clean. That, man, this sounds really, really good. And then the way that he started layering his vocals on top of the instruments that were being played, that just sounded great to me.
No, I mean, shoot, like, in terms of that kind of beat, like, you know, kind of slower sound, the way they can layer it with different sounds, I always say the same thing about Zaytoven. He's always like, it's pretty crazy how he can put so many different sounds in one beat and it still sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about Gojira.
I was gonna say that's the thing that sets Zaytoven apart in the rap stuff that you like, and I think that's part of what sets Gojira apart in terms of him being primarily someone that listens to rap who listens to a little bit of metal. I think that's what sets listening to them apart from maybe some other metal bands, is because there's aspects of, like you just said, was like Zaytoven, how he adds all these different sounds and stuff into his songs. It's the same thing with Gojira. You hear all kinds of different sounds and just strange aura kind of things, and that's the same thing with Zaytoven. It's a lot like the build up and the aura in the song. For Zaytoven is part of what draws you in. It's not so much even just the bass, but it's the melody, it's the aura in the background, and that's the same with Gojira. The kind of
I just thought that was a good comparison, because I was like, dang, I mean, what Gojira's doing in this song is kind of makes me think about something Zaytoven would do on a track.
Yeah, like, exactly. And I mean, oh, sorry guys. And you know, I mean, with that, he's not necessarily saying that this is an obvious thing to Zaytoven or anything, but it's just everybody relates stuff to what they're familiar with. And what he's most familiar with is listening to rap music and stuff, so he can see a little bit of a tie to what he's used to listening to, because he listens to rap so much, and Zaytoven specifically, his style of beats and stuff, that he kind of, you know, compares the two as a result, because that's what he's used to listening to. It's not so much like, oh yeah, this sounds exactly like Zaytoven. I mean, obviously we know.
It sounds far from like Zaytoven, but just the way
they use different sounds and the aura.
And put them into beats. And it still sounds good. I can see that from both of them. So that's why I was making the comparison.
Exactly. So just to clarify, I mean, he's not saying like, oh yeah, this is like
yeah, this is definitely something Zaytoven would make.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
but anyway, this is super fire though. I am a huge fan of this. This sounds so much like a Gojira song. I mean, the build up throughout was like, you could just feel kind of the intensity building, and you weren't sure what was coming, but you knew it wasn't just going to stay like that. Yeah, and then it kind of dropped, so to speak. I know that's not exactly the right word for it.
Yeah.
But once that groove came in, it was just like, oh yeah, it sounded perfect. And it seemed like a logical next step. You know what I mean? It didn't just sound... That's one thing about Gojira as opposed to maybe other bands, is that I feel like a lot of times with their music, when they change the groove and stuff, it doesn't just feel like, whoa, where did that come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like, oh yeah, naturally it would go from that to this. Even though it's a completely, for the most part, completely different sound. But the way that they build it up throughout the song and stuff, a lot of times, it feels like a natural progression. Whereas sometimes it just sounds like, okay, you went from this and then, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Okay, now we're way over here. What is going on? So I think that's a tribute to them as a band and their instrumentation and stuff, that it feels that way. Everything just has such a very good connection to it. Even if they're playing different things, it all just connects so perfectly. And I think it's what really makes me enjoy listening to them a ton as opposed to other groups, is because even when they change up what they're doing, it doesn't feel like they took two separate songs, put them together, and then made the music for it. I mean, wrote some lyrics for it, and there you go. It feels like they're made to go together, even though their grooves change throughout. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's really, really impressive. And it's not just this song, you know. It's like this honestly reminds me a lot of their song, what's it called? Flying Whales. This very much reminds me of Flying Whales.
I really liked Flying Whales. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and this reminds me very much of Flying Whales, where the beginning of it is like aura. You're hearing all these different kind of sounds.
Like the
yeah, exactly. And almost kind of the sounds of the whale in the background a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah,
and then the guitar comes in, and it's I don't know. It's crazy how they do that. I mean, they really are amazing in that respect.
I was a little bit off on the melody, but you guys get what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's been a while since I've heard the song, but I'm just saying, like, the minute that it came on, that was kind of the first thing that I was thinking of. Is like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Flying Whales, the way that it was building up, and then about a minute into the song, all of a sudden, stuff starts happening.
The problem with this one, though, was I think that the intro was a little bit too long. I mean, it took us 2 minutes and 30 seconds to really get the song started.
I'd say a minute. I'd say it started about a minute 30, a minute 45. But I understand what you're saying. It's like the song's already a quarter of the way over before it really started.
Yeah.
But it's also intentional because it's meant to build you up and like, okay, what's coming? What's coming?
Let's just say, I mean, if they were to perform this at a concert, I'm sure I would probably feel a little bit differently just because, the energy being built, while they're still playing that part would
that's a great point. That's a great point. They could be talking during this during this part, yeah. Or you're just, I mean, it is really well done. It's just a matter of if you like it or not. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I don't mind. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind when songs have sometimes long intros.
Yeah.
But I just prefer they keep it under like a minute.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying though. It's not a matter of they didn't do it well. It's just that you would have liked it shorter.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It being that long was too long in your opinion. But
yeah,
that's not to say that they didn't do a good job.
Right.
In doing it. It's just you would prefer it to be a little bit shorter.
Right.
And I personally think that it made sense. And I didn't mind it because even that part where you could tell that it was just building up, it sounded great. You know what I mean? Like, I really enjoyed it. So if I didn't really enjoy how it sounded during that part, then I probably would be in the same boat. Like, okay, enough is enough of this. But I really enjoyed how that sounded, so I didn't mind that it was extended. And I also love how they went from just kind of the music in the background to adding the guitar part, and then having the guitar part become heavier and heavier as it went on.
Yeah, another thing is I really like when choir is used in beats, like used in, songs, and I mean, they're doing that so far in this song, so I'm like, that even has me more involved in the song just because.
Yeah.
I mean, they used it in the intro and it sounded damn good.
Yeah.
So.
And he's talking about that from like a beat perspective, like the sound choir.
Yeah, the choir on a beat. I don't know. I just like kind of dark sounding beats, and I think choir really works with it. And I don't know. I'm kind of getting that vibe from this beat. So. From this song.
Yeah. So. All right, let's keep it going and see what else. As we know with Gojira, it never just stays the same. I'm sure it'll change up a few more times. So let's see.
guys saw me, I was like,
Yeah.
but hey, I absolutely love that part. I mean, there was like, within like the last 30 seconds, there was like 4 different guitar melodies used.
Yeah.
I mean, that was insane, and like different tempo changes as well. I mean, they took out the hi-hat at one point, just had the bass and the snare, which was that, you know, that crazy part with the guitar. And then, you know, before that, I mean, shoot.
And also, you talk about the melody, too, in his vocals. He went from, you know, using the more guttural, like, screaming to kind of easing it out a little bit during this part where he's just kind of regular singing a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of how he sounds on Magma, for example. Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, it just, and again, it doesn't feel like a way out there progression. It feels like, oh yeah, you could tell that this is where it was going all along, but it just sounds good as opposed to others. Like it doesn't sound like why did they put this with that? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It sounds really good, and like you said, the last couple of minutes were really impressive. And just the shredding going on the guitars. I mean, even though it's not like super heavy, he's almost playing like electric guitar and almost taking you back to like rock music where they're just going like some Aerosmith stuff where he's just shredding the guitar.
If I'm being honest, though, I wasn't expecting the beat to go there. Like with like shredding the guitar and stuff like that. I wasn't expecting it to go there, because I wasn't catching that kind of sound. Like, I wasn't expecting that kind of sound in this.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you expect that to come, but what I'm saying is once you hear it, then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense, but I just wasn't expecting it.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody can expect anything when they're hearing it for the first time. Outside of, with this group, you can expect the unexpected. I'll say that. But, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's a situation where once you have heard it, then you're like, oh, it doesn't sound like it comes out of left field. It sounds like, oh yeah, I can see where it would go from there to there, and it sounds good. Yeah. Not like, oh my God, where did that come from? And I don't know if I like that. You know what I mean?
No, I like it, but it
kind of like, okay,
surprising.
Here's a perfect example. The song "Bring Your BYOB" by System of a Down. It just goes from, you know, like that kind of melodic, kind of enjoying, like, oh yeah, that's nice, to, and it's like, what on earth? Like, the first handful of times that I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, that is such a harsh transition from what sounds really good to that I don't even think I like it. But I liked the chorus so much that I was willing to put up with it. You know what I mean? And then it grew on me. It grew on me as time went on, but I still am like, man, that is a rough transition that I didn't see coming, and that part of the song I could almost live without in some respects. This does not feel like that at any point. I'm like, okay, I like the harshness, I like the melodic, I like everything in between, and I like how it's mixed and how it transitions from one to another, whereas like that one, there is no transition. It's just you're either in this part where everything is absolutely going crazy, or you're in this part where it's melodic. And I also understand that was probably the intention. You know what I mean? It's not, they weren't trying to do this, so I'm not saying that as a knock on the band, but I'm just saying from a listener's perspective of myself, do I like that? Which would I prefer? This. I would prefer the sound of something like this where you have both, but it builds into it better, so it doesn't just feel like it's coming out of left field. You know what I mean? I prefer this style, and so as a result, I think that's why I like this group so much, because nothing that they do, for the most part, feels like it's just doesn't fit with the song. Everything feels so connected and so just smoothly transitioned into and just so well done that I'm willing to take it, as opposed to other groups where I'm like, oh man, I really wish that they hadn't gone away from that.
Yeah, right. No.
Yeah, there's something that sets this group apart, if that makes sense. I mean, there's just something, like I said in past videos, they do things that I don't generally like, but I don't mind it, or I like it when they do it.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to know, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's a sign of greatness. You know what I mean? When you can take a group or a type of sound that someone doesn't generally like and make it enjoyable, I think that's greatness.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I'm
he'll be the first to, yeah, he's
I'm
the perfect
first example of that.
He's a perfect example of that, because he doesn't like this style of music really at all, outside of, I mean, I'm talking about this genre of metal. Like the screamo, guttural, stuff. He really does not like that.
I don't like screamo. That's the main thing I don't like.
He doesn't like screamo, and generally a lot of things that Gojira does, other bands, he doesn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But he's enjoying this. So there you go. Perfect example.
No, like I said, I mean, I made some comments about the guy's voice earlier. I mean, he can do scream stuff and really not make it sound like he's screaming all that much, honestly. I mean, just how low his voice is sounds really good when he's using that kind of what's the word for it? Like,
tone or whatever.
Delivery.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
When he's delivering that kind of sound, I guess. But anyways, yeah, no, I mean, that's a perfect example. And like, for instance, when he listened to that song Combustion by Meshuggah that we did for our Tournament of Legends thing, he was like, oh my god, this song sucks. And he did not like it at all. And that was like screamo, kind of guttural, like screaming and stuff, and he didn't enjoy that at all. But here he is talking about how much he enjoys this this artist.
I know, it's
singing.
something about this guy's vocals I really
so like I
find
said,
enjoyable.
I think that's kind of a sign of greatness. I mean, he's doing the same thing that he doesn't like about other artists, but he enjoys it when this guy does it, and that goes for the whole band for me. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of things that they do, these kind of rapid transitions, or just transitioning so many times within the same song, I generally don't care for that, but here we are. I'm adding this to the playlist. So anyway,
yeah, let's finish up the song.
Yeah, let's finish up the song.
Yeah.
When you witness death, you understand your demise. As you realize your destiny, the fatal. When you every time you rise high from the ground, the time will be
That was quite the rapid transition. Wow. Dude, that was quite the transition. All of a sudden, that kind of slower sound ended, and we went from that straight to a, you know, like
All out.
really freaking fast tone sound.
All out oblivion.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, and then, I mean, shoot, this is something I haven't mentioned throughout the whole video, but I absolutely love this chorus. I think just the hold up, that, and then the sound that he says after he says that, the light, or whatever
Yeah.
he says, that kind of sound. Oh man, that sounds awesome.
Yep.
I mean, and the things he says in between when he says those things, it just sounds really good. So I'm a huge fan of this.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, the delivery he's using all the way to the sudden changes and the beat and all that. I mean, it just sounds phenomenal. And shoot, man, I gotta give it to especially the guitar players on this, because dude, I mean, I don't think a lot of guitar players, unless you've been playing for a long time, could even think about playing something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I mean, shoot, I don't think I've seen anybody that, in terms of guitar playing for metal bands, I don't think there's been any that I've heard that have been better than Gojira. Because I think what they can do with it is unlike anything I've ever heard, for sure. So, hey, I love it.
Yeah.
Good song for sure, and probably on my playlist.
Probably.
No, definitely on my playlist.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he was the one that was pausing it like every single time. He's like, oh, and even when he wasn't pausing it, he was grabbing it to pause it.
Yeah, but I was like, shoot, I don't feel right pausing it because I've already paused it like 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but yeah, no, I just want to echo everything that he already said. I mean, there was not anything about this song that I didn't enjoy. Like he said at the beginning, could the intro have maybe been condensed a little bit? And would that have made me enjoy the song more? I don't know if it would have made me enjoy the song more or less. I definitely don't think it would have made me enjoy the song less, but I think it would have been about the same. But could it have been shortened, and maybe would that have improved my experience listening to it? Yeah, maybe. I'm not saying like cut that whole part out, but maybe if it was a little bit shorter, that would have been cool. But nonetheless, I thought that sounded amazing, so I'm fine with it the way it is. The transitions throughout just sounded amazing. The guitar playing, like he said, incredible the whole way through. No matter what kind of guitar they were playing, whether they were playing kind of the electric guitar,
The acoustic,
almost kind of sounding like taking you back to like rock music a little bit with some of the riffs and stuff.
Yeah, like
to
AC/DC.
the heavy.
What they used on this song reminded me of Thunderstruck from AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly. To the heavy, hard sounding guitar riffs that you're used to hearing from Gojira. To I don't want to say acoustic guitar, but there was certainly some guitar riffs in here that were very, very
complex.
Very not heavy. And they weren't even electric guitar. They were just, I don't know, the tuning of the guitars on here, the different ways that they played it sounded amazing. And just everything about it sounded great. His vocals were amazing. And I don't think that at any point his vocals took away from anything that they were doing.
No, I thought his
amazing.
vocals really added to it. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't even have that many vocals, to be honest with you. There was a lot of time where it was just instrumentation, which I think really adds on to his vocals sounding good when he does do them, because it's not overly saturated where the whole time you're not hearing anything else because all you can hear is him. As a matter of fact, I would even say on this song specifically that I could hear the background music a lot more than I could hear him even when he was singing.
No, that's kind of how I felt about it too.
It was almost I feel like in all the songs that we listen to, and it's partly just our speakers and stuff, but I feel like in all the songs that we listen to, especially songs for the first time, I really kind of have a difficult time understanding what he's saying. And it's partly because the music in the background is almost, I would say it's not even just level with him. On some songs, it's almost louder than he is. And so it's kind of difficult to understand what he's saying. But I don't think that's a negative. I think in this case, it worked really well. he just kind of provided a little bit of melody, and you just really were kind of focused on the groove going on in the background, which was amazing. So I think it's a big plus.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as a criticism. I think it worked really well in this song, and I very, very much enjoyed everything about it. I mean, this song was absolutely fire. Is it necessarily my favorite Gojira song that I've heard / listened to on this channel? No, I would not say that it was. But I think it's a very, very solid offering. Definitely a song that I will be adding to my playlist and and listening to, and very much enjoy listening to. I mean, I'm not saying that also to say, oh, you know, this song sucked compared to the other ones we've done. I'm definitely not saying that. This was a great offering and definitely one I'm going to be listening to. I'm just saying, you know, there's only so many, you can only have, you know, one favorite, and you can only have one that you like the best and stuff like that. And this one, compared to other ones, I just liked other ones more. But I did really enjoy this one, and yeah, this was dope. This was
it's
dope.
probably not my favorite one either. I mean, I kind of already told you guys which song was my favorite by him earlier.
Yeah, he really likes The Gift of Guilt a lot, and so as a result, you know, is this one as good as The Gift of Guilt in his opinion? Maybe not. Does that mean this one is bad?
No, definitely. I mean, I really
If
don't.
anything, it speaks to how good that song is. That, you know, he just finished listening to this one and thought it was super dope.
I was going crazy throughout this whole video, honestly.
And still like that other one better. I mean, that just tells you how special this band is.
Yeah.
That you could have been like, you know, trying to keep from stopping it like 50 times through this entire video, and still this wasn't your favorite one.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great. So, you know, shout out to Gojira. No matter what, they're always impressing me.
It's a dream of mine to go to one of their concerts for sure.
Absolutely, that would be super cool. And honestly, it's a pleasure to listen to them every time that we get an opportunity to, whether that be a concert video or the audio recording. They're just amazing. So shout out to Gojira. Shout out to you guys who checked out this video and requested that we check out more from this album. Definitely probably going to react to another song or two off this album. Hopefully this one actually gets posted, because this was definitely an awesome reaction from us, and hopefully you guys
Especially
get to...
for me, I don't think I've ever gone more hard.
Yeah, and I hope that you guys get to actually enjoy it, because we enjoy doing it, so we might as well, you know, be able to post them. Speaking of which, another video that me and Bennett did, we reacted to Riot live by 3 Days Grace. That video got shut down by copyright, so sorry you guys didn't get to see that one, but nonetheless, we're going to keep making content, and you know, if they get hit by copyright, oh well, we'll just make another one and make more. So, oh well.
Hopefully we won't have any copyright issues with any of these videos going forward. I mean,
I'm sure we will, but
we probably will. I mean, I know Bryson, when he's been uploading them, he's been mentioning like copyright claims. We do not own any.
Yeah, I always do that stuff, but at the end of the day, if they want to do it, they're going to do it anyway, so.
Yeah, right.
Oh well, so, but hey, we're doing the best that we can, and we just enjoy doing this anyway, so if that happens, well, just gives us an excuse to record even more, so, oh well. But anyways, shout out to Gojira, shout out to you guys for watching this video. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment if you have any suggestions of other Gojira songs you want us to check out, and we'll definitely get to them in the future. You know, we're definitely gonna
say the baby video.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna, when Jake comes back, we'll get back to the L'Enfant Sauvage album as well. But you know, until then, we're just kind of reacting to other Gojira songs from other albums and stuff. And yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
See you guys in the next video.